Hey, whippersnappers, this is Tortimer with the Gray. Welcome back to another exciting series here on the Tortimer with the Gray gaming channel. Today we are kicking off our Pokemon Emerald Littlelock that we've been talking about for so long. This series is going to be a continuation of our POKEATH'LOCKE series. POKEATH'LOCKE is the name that I finally settled on. I needed a non-number specific name for these continuing series that I've been doing. And we started like with the Pentathlocke when there was only 5 generations, and then Gen 6 came out. I was okay, so well now it's the Hexath'locke, and then Gen 7 came out. I was like, okay, well it's the Heptathlocke, and then we've got a Gen 8 that's kind of tentatively announced for later 2018, 2019 area. So it's like, okay, Octathlocke. I'm like, okay, finally I need to come up with a name that just encompasses everything, and so the POKEATH'LOCKE is going to be what we're going with from now on. But the Pokemon Emerald Littlelock is going to be Season 3 of the current POKEATH'LOCKE that we're running through, that started with the Pokemon Yellow Dicelock, continued with the Pokemon Crystal Wed'locke, and now we're going to be playing the Pokemon Emerald Littlelock. Basically, what we're doing with this series is we're going to be playing through each successive generation of Pokemon, doing a different Nuzlocke variant for each successive generation. And I decided to do this. When we finished the Hexath'locke, I swore I was never going to do one of these again. But then, as I was kind of planning out the other series that I wanted to do, I was like, well, I've got kind of a Nuzlocke variant planned for Gen 1, 2, 3. Like, I had all these different Nuzlocke variants I wanted to do that I didn't get to do when we were doing the Hexath'locke, because that was all vanilla Nuzlockes. I was like, what if I did a different variant for each generation? And so that's where we're kind of kicking off here today, doing our Pokemon Emerald Littlelock. Now, let's jump in here. We're going to continue on with the game, and then we'll kind of explain what the heck is a Pokemon Emerald Littlelock once we kind of get into this a little bit. So, hi, sorry to keep you waiting. Welcome to the world of Pokemon. My name is Birch, but everyone calls me the Pokemon Professor. This is what we call a Pokemon. Alright, we got a little Lotad action going on there. This world is widely inhabited by creatures known as Pokemon. We humans live alongside Pokemon, at times as friendly playmates, and at times as cooperative workmates. And sometimes we band together and battle others like us. Despite our closeness, we don't know everything about Pokemon. In fact, there are many secrets surrounding Pokemon to unravel. Many secrets to unravel Pokemon mysteries. I've been undertaking research. That's what I do. And you are? Alright. We are a boy. Alright, and what's your name? I believe in this series we have just been going by the simple moniker of Tort. So we're going to do that again. In the Hexath'locke we were Tortimer because we could not fit Tortimer in the name bar here. It's a little bit short. But there we go. We're just going to be Tort. Fantastic. So it's Tort? Yes, it is. Fantastic. Okay, you're Tort, who's moving to my hometown of Littleroot. I get it now. Alright, are you ready? Your very own adventure is about to unfold. Take courage and leap into the world of Pokemon where dreams, adventure, friendship await. Well, I'll be expecting you later. Come see me in my Pokemon lab. Alrighty, here we go. Continuing our adventures here in Hoenn. Moving from the Johto region where we just completed our Pokemon Crystal Wed'locke. And continuing on with our Pokemon Emerald Littlelock. Tort, we're here, honey. It must be tiring riding with all our things in the moving truck. Well, this is Littleroot Town. How do you like it? This is our new home. It is a quaint feel, but it seems to be an easy place to live, don't you think? And you get your own room, Tort. Let's go inside. Yeah, we get our own room. I don't think Mom gets her own room. See, Tort? Isn't it nice in here, too? The movers Pokemon do all the work of moving, and cleaning up after. This is so convenient. Tort, your room is upstairs. Go check it out, dear. Dad bought you a new clock to mark our move here. Don't forget to set it. Alright, so in Emerald, we've got some Vigoroth in here doing work. This guy's just watching TV, it looks like. But, yeah, alright, so here we are in Hoenn. So I said that we're doing we've got a couple of terms that we probably need to define. So let's go ahead and do that real quick. So, we are doing a Pokemon Emerald Littlelock. A Littlelock is a Nuzlocke variant that I kind of created. It's a variant, kind of, on the Everlock. Have you ever heard of that? Basically, the way the Everlock is set up is that you cannot evolve your Pokemon until you get a single evolution for every gym badge you get. So I think if you beat the first gym, you're allowed to evolve one Pokemon. So basically, it's kind of similar to that, except for this is a Littlelock based off of Little Cup. And we ran one of these variants before on the channel. We played through Pokemon Omicron, and we did a Littlelock there. That run was not successful. I'm hoping this one will be. But essentially what it means is that we are not going to be able to evolve Pokemon at all. The Littlelock, basically, it's very similar to a Nuzlocke. There's not a whole lot of rule variants, except for that no evolutions will be allowed. Nor can we catch any evolved Pokemon. So, like our starter that we're going to pick up in a little bit is going to stay their first evolution the entire time. Any of our transfers, which we'll be picking up a little later in this episode, will also be staying as their first evolutions. Things like that. We will only be able to use Pokemon that either we can only use Pokemon that either have not evolved or cannot evolve. So first stage Pokemon, so thinking about Hoenn Pokemon, we can only use Poochyena, or Ralts, or Wingull, or Lotad, or whatever. These first stage Pokemon, or Pokemon that cannot evolve. Either have not evolved or cannot evolve, meaning single stage Pokemon, like thinking Hoenn again, Mawile, Sableye, Torkoal. Pokemon that have a single stage, have no pre-evolutions or evolutions, are also going to be eligible just because of the whole thing of, being able to actually find Pokemon in all stages of the game. Okay, so we're up here. What are we supposed to be doing? Our clock. So that's going to be what sets us apart here. We're going to have no evolution at all. So we're going to have to get through this game with our starter Pokemon in their first stage. We're not going to be able to rely on final stage evolutions to carry us through. No stat boosts, none of that kind of stuff coming through. The clock is done. We better set it and start. Alright, what time is it? Alright, so let's see, we're actually gonna be like right. We're right about here. Alright, this is the correct time? Yes, it is. So I think that makes sense. So let me run through the rules here real quick. So basically, we've got a couple of rules that are just variations on the normal Nuzlocke rules. In a Little Lock, a player may only use a Pokemon in their first stage or those that have no evolutions. So we kind of just covered that. Any Pokemon that faints is going to be considered dead. So any Pokemon that faints at any time is going to be considered dead. And we like to put our Pokemon in a heaven box in the PC so we can kind of keep track of where we've been. So we will be boxing all of our fainted Pokemon as opposed to releasing, which I know some people do. The number 3, the player only may catch the first usable Pokemon encountered in each area and none else. So, usually in a Nuzlocke, whatever you encounter first, that's your catch. And there's sometimes clauses on that, like we usually run the Dupes clause and the Shiny clause. Basically, the Dupes clause allows us to have multiple encounters, like if we have, if we catch a Poochyena on Route 1, if we also encounter a Poochyena on Route 2, we don't have to catch that Poochyena, we get a couple attempts to find a non-Poochyena Pokemon, sort of thing. And then the Shiny clause, if we encounter a Shiny Pokemon at any point, whether it's our first encounter or not, whether we've caught another Pokemon on that route or not, we're allowed to catch that Shiny Pokemon, but with the caveat that we have to use that Shiny Pokemon. So if we come across a Shiny Wurmple, we've got to catch the Shiny... Well, we don't have to, but if we catch the Shiny Wurmple in violation of the one catch only rule, then we have to use that Shiny Wurmple on our team, which is going to be difficult in this run because Wurmple is not going to be able to even evolve into Dustox or Beautifly or something, so we're stuck with Shiny Wurmple. Okay, so we're watching our dad on TV, all that kind of stuff. But I say we can only catch the first usable Pokemon because if later in the game we get to a point where there are evolved Pokemon in a route and non-evolved, so if there's like Pokemon we could actually use and Pokemon we can't use, so if we're on a route and we come across Camerupt, but there's also Torkoals on that route, well, Camerupt isn't going to count because we're not even possibly capable of using a Camerupt based on our rule set, but we could use a Torkoal, so we get the opportunity to catch a Pokemon we can actually use if one exists. So that's how that's going to work out. Gift Pokemon are allowed with encounters, but it counts for the encounter of that route. So we don't get to catch a Pokemon and also get a gift Pokemon on a given route or area. So that's going to be how that works out. And then all Pokemon must be nicknamed, which we will definitely be getting into here in a little bit. But that's kind of the basics of the Little Lock rules. It's basically a Nuzlocke as you would normally play a Nuzlocke. And a Nuzlocke, if you guys are not aware, I explain this every time saying, well, maybe you don't, but I would hope you do at this point. But if you're not even aware of what a Nuzlocke is, basically it is a self-imposed challenge placed on a game so that, if you play the Pokemon games for 20 years like I have, sometimes they lose their challenge a bit and it's not as fun. So you self-impose some rules and things like that that are going to make your playthrough a little more interesting and challenging. Fan-made games and things like that have built-in challenge, but in general, the base Pokemon franchise is built for kids, and so it's not as tough as some of us lifelong players would necessarily be interested in seeing. So yeah, that's what a Nuzlocke is. I think we've covered the Little Lock rules pretty well. Basically, again, it's just a Nuzlocke, but you can't use evolved Pokemon, and you can't evolve your Pokemon. So that's basically what we're gonna be doing. We're gonna be trying to get through this game with unevolved Pokemon. I'm really worried about gyms like Norman's gym, where we've got to battle Slackings with with unevolved Pokemon, that's going to be quite a challenge, I think. But I'm excited about the prospect of having a challenge. And I came up with this variant. We tried to run through Pokemon Omicron, I had said, and we did not make it all the way through that. So I'd be very excited to hopefully, especially because this is a continuing series, hopefully make it all the way through with the Little-Locke this time. Now, we've been through what a Little-Locke is. Now, I said that this is part of a continuing series called the POKEATH'locke, and it is Season 3 of that series. So what is the POKEATH'locke then? Well, the POKEATH'locke is in of itself its own Nuzlocke variant. And basically what it means is that we're going to be playing through successive generations of Pokemon, and each successive generation is going to be part of a continuing challenge that we will be partaking in. So, what does that mean? So, like, when we did the Pokemon Yellow Dice Lock, it didn't really change, that being part of the POKEATH'locke didn't really change anything. In fact, that wasn't originally part of a POKEATH'locke type series until we retroactively made it so when we started the Pokemon Crystal Wed'locke. But essentially, going into Pokemon Crystal Wed'locke, what that meant was, we had the opportunity to transfer up to 2 of our Pokemon from any previous generation into that generation. So, essentially, in Pokemon Yellow Dice Lock, we had a number of Pokemon on our team, and to make it feel like a continuing series, we were able to transfer 2 of those Pokemon into the next region for purposes of continuity and things like that. So, like in Pokemon Crystal Wed'locke, we had a Pikachu and a Pikachu and a Wigglytuff on our team in Pokemon Yellow, and so we transferred a Pikachu and a Jigglypuff into Pokemon Crystal, and so we had Fiver and Luna on our team again. And so it's not like we're starting brand new over. We brought a couple of our friends over with us into the next thing. Now, in order to make that not too OP, we went ahead and made it so that we have to forfeit some routes. So essentially what we do is, you know, you get the 2 transfer Pokemon, but you have to give up 3 routes of catches in a given region in order to bring in each Pokemon. So that means 6 total routes of forfeits in order to bring in those Pokemon. Just to kind of like offset things, those are 6 Pokemon that you can't have to bring in these 2 Pokemon. So I think that balances out pretty well. It took us a while when we ran through the Hexath'locke, our first run through of this kind of playthrough, and to kind of find the right balance there, make it not too easy. Like if it's you only have to forfeit 1 route of Pokemon to bring one in. It was like, heck yeah, I'm gonna bring in my other starter Pokemon, which have better stats than. But we're forfeiting 6 Pokemon to bring in those 2, and so that I think that balances out pretty well. But before we get talking into too much about transfers, we are going to be picking our starter here. And at the end of the Pokemon Crystal Wed'locke, you guys voted on who you wanted to see as my starter. And you guys had the choice between Trico, the wood gecko Pokemon, Torchic, the chick Pokemon, or Mudkip, the mudfish Pokemon. And you guys voted for Trico. So we're going to be running with Trico as our starter here, and he's going to stay a Trico for the entirety of this run. So this is going to be interesting. So we grab Trico here. For me, when I play Nuzlockes, the Nuzlocke challenge does not start until we have Pokeballs. So that is when the challenge will be starting. So if Trico manages to not defeat this level 2 Zigzagoon, which would be a bit disappointing, but if it does end up being what happens, at least we will not have lost the challenge. We do not lose the challenge until we have Pokeballs and are capable of adding other Pokemon to the team. So right now, we are just playing a game. Alright, Professor Birch, woo! I was in that tall grass studying wild Pokemon when I was jumped. You saved me, thanks a lot. Oh, hi, you're Tort. This is not the place to chat, so come by my lab later, okay? Alright. Oh, and we come by his lab immediately. So, Tort, I've heard so much about you from your father. I've heard that you don't have your own Pokemon yet. Well, I do now, sucker. I got your treat. Go! But the way you battled earlier, you pulled it off with a plum. With a palm? I guess you have your father's blood in your veins after all. Oh, yes, and thanks for rescuing me. I'd like you to have the Pokemon that you used earlier. Tort received the Trico. Fantastic. But while you're at it, why not give it a nickname? Yes, one of our rules is that all of our Pokemon must be nicknamed, and we're going to name this little Trico. We're going to name him Yuka. There was a little fan-made, well, not a fan-made game, but a little indie game made by Platonics, which was made up of old Rare developers. Rare was a studio that used to do a lot of work for, like, the N64 and stuff. And they made kind of an old kind of Banjo-Kazooie type game called Yooka-Laylee. And in that, the main character was a kind of green chameleon-looking guy named Yuka. So we're going to be naming our Trico Yuka. If you work at Pokemon and gain experience, I think you'll make an extremely good trainer. My kid May is also studying Pokemon while helping me out. Tort, don't you think it might be a good idea to go see May? Yeah, I mean, we already did that, but sure, we'll go do that too. We'll go tell her what's up. Although he might be talking about going to see her out on the route. Oh, no, wait, Pokemon, that's what we want. Let's take a look at Yuka when we've got the chance here. Jolly nature, so that's going to speed... What does that do? I can't remember. I think Jolly raises speed but lowers special attack. I can't remember, but I think that Trico is mostly physical attacking anyway, so that might actually be pretty good. I can't remember. I think it's raises speed, lowers special. I could be wrong, though. I could be wrong. All right. There we go. It might lower a defense or something. All right. No, actually, yeah. No, it absolutely is speed and raises speed, lower special attack. But I just realized, in this generation, the physical special split has not happened yet. So all grass-type moves are going to be special. Whether or not, like, Leaf Blade... Although I don't even know if Trico's got access to Leaf Blade anyway. Ooh, I'm not really sure what Trico's moveset's going to look like. But I do know that's actually might not be the best nature we could possibly have. It looks like... let me just preface this. I paused briefly, and I looked it up. It looks like his special attack stat is actually going to be his higher stat. All of his moves... So that's not going to be great. I mean, moving quick is going to be good. A little more power wouldn't be the worst thing ever, but we'll make it work. We'll make it work. You know, Nuzlocks are about using what you're given, and so we're gonna do just that. Getting Yuka a little bit of levels here. So there we go. We've got Absorb at least. So we've got a stab move. We've got a Wurmple here. Really, I want to go talk to this little kid. I want to make sure that we're not missing out on any potential items or anything like that. But we are going to head up and talk to May. I'm pretty sure we've already talked to her in her house. I think the encounter with May that Birch was discussing was the one up in Route 1, I think 103? Maybe it's 102, but we're going to do that. Okay, so that kid didn't give us anything. Take him to the Pokemon Center. This is all just basic stuff. No problem at all. Alright, so we've got Wurmple here. Yuka's going to come out. A little bit of leveling wouldn't be the worst thing in the world, though, because we are going to have to battle May. I think she's got the starter that is strong against us, so that will mean she has a Torchic, but I think her Torchic is only level 5. Not that our challenge has started yet. I don't think we've got any Pokeballs. I think May potentially gives us Pokeballs. So we're going to be all right, but we're going to go ahead and get Yuka a little bit of experience there, since we're encountering wild things anyway. We're going to pop in here and heal. To make our battle with May a little more interesting and not quite as OP, we're going to wait to pick up our transfers until after that battle. So we'll battle May, then we'll come back through town and pick up our transfers. But let's go ahead and okay, Yuka is all healed up. I think we're probably good. Yeah, so she's up here on Route 103. So we got a Poochyena. We've not quite started our encounter stuff yet, so we're good to go here. None of these we're not losing any encounters on these routes as of yet. Although when we go to pick up our transfers, we will need to start talking about which routes we are losing. But let's go ahead and talk to May. Let's see. The Pokemon found on Route 103 include... Oh, hi, Tort! Oh, I see. My dad gave you a Pokemon as a gift. Since we're here, let's have a quick battle. I'll give you a taste of what being a trainer is really like. Alright, so we're going to battle May and just kind of see what she's got. I think she's got the Torchic, yeah. She's got Torchic. We are a couple of levels up. We do have a little bit of damage. Let me just make sure. Yeah, no Pokeballs. I just wanted to make sure that the challenge had not started yet. Alright, we're going to go for the Pound here. Absorb's not going to do a whole lot for us. I think we're probably going to be okay, unless she gets a crit. Those couple of levels are going to be useful to us. And our Trico is going to be nice and quick, which will be good. Oh, baby! Alright. Grew a level, even with our leveling up a little bit. Still enough experience from the Torchic to level. I think Yuka's going to work out alright. Going to be a little bit tough with the ability, or the nature. This is the first generation, actually, that they added natures and abilities. So, we'll have to take all of that into account. I think I know why my dad has an eye out for you now. I mean, you just got that Pokemon, but it already likes you. You might be able to befriend any kind of Pokemon easily. Well, it's time to head back to the lab. Alright, so there goes May. I don't believe she gave me any Pokeballs or anything, so we're still not going strong there. Alright, so let's go ahead. Oh, here's May again. Dart, over here! Let's hurry up! Yeah, so we gotta go back and talk to her dad. Alright, so let's head back down to Little Root and see what May's dad's got in store for us here. Lab is right here. I'm guessing that's where we're gonna find him. Yes, there we go. Professor Bird. Oh, hi, Tort. I heard you beat May on your first try. That's excellent. May's been helping with my research for a long time. May has an extensive history as a trainer. Well, she's got a level 5 Torchic, so I wouldn't say she's got an extensive history as a trainer. But here, Tort, I ordered this for my research, but I think you should have this Pokedex. To receive the Pokedex. Fantastic. Professor Bird's Pokedex is a high-tech tool that automatically makes a record of any Pokemon you meet or catch. My kid May goes everywhere with it. Whenever my kid catches a rare Pokemon and records his data in the Pokedex, May looks for me while I'm out doing fieldwork and shows me. Oh, wow, Tort, you've got a Pokedex too. That's great, just like me. I've got something for you too. Obtain the Pokeballs. All right, Tort put the Pokeballs away in the Pokeball bucket. It's fun if you get a lot of Pokemon. I'm going to look all over the place because I want different Pokemon. If I find any cute Pokemon, I'll catch them with my Pokeballs. All right, so there we go. The challenge has officially started. Let's take a look. We got Yuka, who's getting a bit of a need of a heal. We'll go talk to Mom, maybe. Oh, yeah, Mom's waiting for us out front. Tort, did you introduce her to Pepper Birch? Oh, what an adorable Pokemon. You got it from Professor Birch. How nice. You're your father's tail, all right? You look good together with Pokemon. Here, honey, I hope you're going on an adventure. Wear these running shoes. All right, we get running shoes, switch shoes. Those shoes come across with instructions. Press B to run with shoes, because that's not world breaking. All right. Oh, if you're a Pokemon. Yeah, Mom, no, really, I just want you to, can you heal Trico here for me, maybe? How you doing? Look a little tired. There we go. Fantastic. Now that the challenge has started, want to make sure we're doing all right there. All right. So what we need to do is Route 101. We have got to do our first encounter, and this will be our first catch for the Little Lock. And we'll go pick up our transfers in O'Dale Town and move on from there. All right. Poochyena, level 3 female Poochyena is going to be our first encounter here. Let's go ahead and throw up an Absorb. Ooh. It's energy drained. Poochyena is going to use Tackle. We are going to use a Pokeball. And this will be our catch for Route 101. I know... Ooh. No, you go ahead and get caught, Poochyena. That's alright. It's okay. You can come with us. No worries. I know technically we got our starters here on Route 101. I'm going to count those as the first... Because we get them for the... I count that as the first route. Or the first, like the hometown. So Trico's going to be counted, Yuka's going to be counted as our little route encounter, and then Poochyena will be our encounter here for Route 101. All right, so savagely threatens foes with bared fangs. It chases after fleeing targets tenaciously. It turns tail and runs whoever the foe strikes back. All right, give a name to the captured Poochyena. Yes, we're going to do that, and it is a female. So let's see. All right, we are going to name this female. We're going to name her Obi. It is named after my wife. One of her favorite dogs growing up was a black lab, a female black lab, and her name was Obi-2 Kenobi, because my wife was a big Star Wars fan, and so Obi was a black lab, and we've got a little black lady pup here, so that's what we're going to be calling Poochyena here. So we're going to go ahead and name Poochyena Obi. Alright, so our encounter for 101 is Obi. Now, we do have some forfeits we got to talk about here in a minute, but we don't have to worry about that too much here on the early routes, so we're going to, we're not going to touch on it just yet, but we'll pull up a map here once we get our transfers and everything. Alright. In fact, this might be... So Obi's a little hurt. We're gonna hold off on that. Let's go ahead and just finish this off. I'm not going to say no to experience this early on, especially... in a Nuzlocke. We're going to take what we can get, and Wurmples are nice, easy experience. I'll probably do a bit of grinding on some Wurmples once we are done here. But now, we're in Old Dale Town. Let's go ahead and get our transfers. Alrighty, so at the end of last season, at the end of the Pokemon Crystal Wed'locke, I had you guys vote on all of the Pokemon that were currently in our Hall of Fame transfer pool, which means any Pokemon from any previous season of this series that survived to the very end and was part of either the Hall of Fame or, in the case of the Pokemon Crystal Wed'locke, was part of either the Elite Four Hall of Fame and or the team that we used to battle Red, because that generation was a little bit goofy with when we ended this challenge. But, so you guys gave me all your votes of all of the Pokemon that were available, and maybe not overwhelmingly, I don't remember what the numbers were, it's been quite a long time since we did the voting, but you guys definitely voted for these two Pokemon as your favorite. So, without further ado, we are going to be bringing... Bonnie and Churchill, both Pokemon that we obtained in the last season. But Bonnie and Churchill are going to be coming with us on this journey. So, that's pretty awesome. You guys picked out some cool Pokemon. We didn't get to see a lot of Bonnie in the Pokemon Crystal Wed'locke. We found her once we got to Kanto towards the end of that series. And then Churchill was with us for a pretty good long while, but is going to be giving us some much-needed bulk in this game. With the guys here who are just, you know, little and squishy, Onyx is a nice little Pokemon that we have access to there. So, we have got our 2 Pokemon. So, let's take a look. You'll see that Bonnie is level 7 and Churchill is level 4. With the rules of the transfer, so not only do we have to give up 6 routes of Pokemon, which we're gonna lay out which routes those are here in just a second, but you transfer in the Pokemon at its base evolution because, well, in this game, as we did with Hexath'locke Season 2, we played Ruby, and we were able to transfer in a level 5 Blastoise and a level 5 Jolteon or whatever, which Jolteon wouldn't have been an issue, but level 5 Blastoise, we were able to do that without the game freaking out. In later generations, we realized that transferring in fully evolved Pokemon at lower levels than are natural screws things up quite a bit. So, what we ended up having to do later on in the series was, of the Hexath'locke, was realizing, okay, they've got to come in at their base evolution, so which is fine. We wanted originally, for continuity's purposes, we're like, alright, we're going to bring them in at the, you know, if they were a Blastoise, it makes sense for them to be a Blastoise again. Not only was that a little bit OP, but it didn't work in later generations anyway. So they come in at their base evolution. So while Churchill was a Steelix and Bonnie was a Houndoom, they both come in as Houndour and Onyx, respectively. Obviously, that works out for us because it's a little lock. We need them to do that anyway. But they also come in at 1/10 of their previous level. Bonnie is level 7 because Bonnie the Houndoom in Pokemon Crystal Wed'locke had been ground up to level 75 for the red battle. And so Bonnie is level 7 here, 1/10 rounded down, right? So Bonnie is level 7. Churchill is level 4 because Churchill the Steelix was used in the Elite Four but was not chosen to be participating in the Red Battle, and so Churchill was only level like 45, I think, or 47, I don't know, it was in the 40s. I think it was like 47. So Churchill was only level 47, so 1/10 level rounded down, Churchill's only level 4. So he's not even our lowest level Pokemon, I guess, but Churchill is there. So these guys only know their base moves, Tackle and Screech and Ember and Leer. You will see, as I said, this is the first generation where natures and abilities were added, so I kind of just put what I wanted to put there, and I hope you guys won't hate me too much for that, but Steelix is going to be Jolly with Sturdy, and Houndour is going to be Naive with Flash Fire. So that's pretty much everything that you guys need to see there. Thank you guys so much, you know, for voting for both our starter and our transfers for this generation. I forgot that, well, I didn't forget anything, but we've got Bonnie, who's going to be Dark Fire, and now we've got Obi. Obi's probably not going to be on the team for a super long... Oh, wait, it is an adamant nature, though. That's kind of cool. Although, no, it's not, because the physical special split still does not happen. That doesn't happen until Generation 4, and unfortunately, that means that Obi is actually going to be a special, like all Dark-type moves, Stab for Obi is going to be special, because Dark-type was classified as a special type in this generation. Anyway, okay, so there we go. We have got our transfers. What I want to do today, we've been going for a pretty long time, so I'm pretty much... why don't we go ahead? Let's switch Bonnie up front, and we're gonna come up here and attempt to catch a Pokemon here on Route 103, and this will be our final encounter for today, and then we'll pick up heading west next time. All right, so we've got a Zigzagoon, level 3 Zigzagoon male. We'll go ahead and hopefully it'll survive an Ember. Okay, Zigzagoon survived an Ember. That's fantastic. We'll go ahead and throw a Pokeball here. Yep. And this will be our catch for Route 103. We need to talk about the transfer. So I'm going to throw up, while I name the Zigzagoon and everything, I'm going to throw up a map here. So you guys will see a map of the Hoenn region right now, and this Hoenn region is going to have 6 routes forfeited for the honor of bringing in our past teammates. And so Bonnie and Churchill both had 3 routes forfeited each. And the routes are as follow. Now, I guess I should say before we start reading these off, I don't get to choose these routes, and that would be a little bit OP. Basically, I went into Cerebi, went to the PokeEarth page, pulled out, you know, every location in the Hoenn region, popped that into a random number generator sort of thing, and was given 6 routes. I did have to do a little finagling, but the only finagling I do is if it pops out a route that, one, isn't in Generation 3, because we do have Gen 6 remakes of these games now, and so some of the routes or in areas were created just for the later generations. They don't exist in this game, so I didn't want to give myself, oh, well, it's the, you know, soaring through the sky was one of the things that popped up. Apparently there's Pokemon you can encounter there, but you can only do that on Mega Latios or something, or whatever it is. I never got really far in the Omega Ruby Alpha Sapphire. But point is, that would be just cheating because it doesn't actually give me any penalty at all. So I discounted those. I had, I think, Farlarbor Town pop up, but you can't actually encounter any Pokemon at Farlarbor Town, so that's really not a penalty to me. So, other than that, these are the routes that are going to be popping up here as forfeits. So we cannot catch any Pokemon on these following routes or areas. Route 106, Route 120, Route 125, Route 131. Then the Jagged Pass and Moss Deep City. So again, Route 106, 120, 125, 131, Jagged Pass, and Moss Deep City. Those are the 6 areas and routes that we are not going to be able to encounter any Pokemon in this game. So, guys, with that said, we nicknamed our new Zigzagoon Bandit, which is what I've named my Zigzagoons that have appeared on my first Root Rodents team, so I figured why not? We'll go ahead and do that. We're going to go ahead and heal here. And we're going to call it a day. I'm probably going to do a tiny bit of grinding between this episode and next episode. Not a huge amount. Maybe we'll do our best to get everybody up to, well, at least get these guys up to level 5 or something. Probably won't do too much grinding beyond that. I don't want everybody too OP. I'd say get everybody up to Yuka's level, but that might be too much, especially since we already have like a team of 5. But we'll at least get these guys up to level 5 or something. I don't know. I'll figure out what I want to do. But yeah, guys, that's going to be it for today. Thank you guys so much for watching. Next episode will be a lot less just chit-chatting, information dump, and a little more battling, moving on with the game. But thank you guys so much for watching. I've been Torb the Great. You guys have been great. I'm so excited to start up this Pokemon Emerald Little Lock. I'm really looking forward to getting into it. My goal is to have this series update twice a week. So Mondays and Fridays are going to be the days that you can expect to find Little Lock, except for in a couple weeks here, I'm going to be gone for a span of about 2 weeks, and so there's only going to be 1 episode going up those weeks. But you guys will just kind of see episodes when they come out, as you always have. And yeah, but my goal is to have an update twice a week, except for if I'm going to be out of town, I'm going to probably just do 1 episode per week, just because that's easier for me to pre-record ahead of time. But thank you guys so much for watching. I'm so excited to get into this series. This is something I've been wanting to do for a really long time, and I'm just getting back into recording a bit, so I'm sorry if this episode's been a little bit of covered in rust, because I'm just kind of starting to shake that stuff off a little bit now and get back into this all. But very excited. Little Lock, Emerald, Season 3 of the POKEATH'LOCKE. A lot of things to be excited about, and I definitely am. So I hope you guys are too. As always, I've been Tortimer the Grey, and you guys have been great. Make sure those likes, comments, subscriptions for me, guys, and I will see you all back here next time. Alrighty, guys. Have a good one.